The world's largest iceberg, the size of the state of Delaware, broke in two on Friday. Iceberg A68A first made headlines in 2017 when it broke off from an Antarctic ice shelf. It was back in the spotlight last week, though, as it neared a South Georgia island. Joining us now from Greenbelt, Maryland, is Christopher Schumann, a glaciologist and professor at the University of Maryland's Joint Center for Earth Systems Technology. Professor, thanks so much for joining us. At its fastest, this iceberg is moving 12 miles a day. Is that fast? Is that slow? Contextualize that for us.
Well, you have to keep in mind that this has been voyaging northward, more or less, for about 3.4 years. For months at a time, it has moved very little. But throughout this unusual year, 2020, it has picked up the pace quite a bit and come very far north, from just above the Antarctic Peninsula's end to very close to the South Georgia island. And that's where it interacted with the seabed between the 16th and the 17th. And snapped off another fragment, A68D, which is about the size of the entire area of Washington, D.C.
Wow.
So the larger remnant, A68A, is given the A designation because it was the main piece from its initial calving on July 11th in 2017. Within a few days, it had actually bounced around off the front of the Larsen Sea ice shelf and snapped off a good-sized piece, about 80 square kilometers, I believe. And A68B began to journey separately from the main iceberg. So over the past couple of years, this thing has pivoted its way up the Antarctic Peninsula and then out into the open waters of the Southern Ocean.
So, Professor, what are the implications of icebergs this size headed in the open seas?
Well, fortunately, in this particular year, there's a lot less ships in the area because of restrictions. But these bergs are large enough to get well up into the South Atlantic. And that could pose a problem for trade in the area, anybody that's moving cargo, passenger ships, et cetera. It's calving fairly large fragments as it has passed by South Georgia. You can see chunks that are a kilometer long or half a kilometer long that are, well, basically ship-sized.
Wow. Christopher Schumann, glaciologist and professor at the University of Maryland's Joint Center for Earth Systems Technology, live from Greenbelt, Maryland. Professor, thank you so much for your time and for joining us on Quick Take.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.